Hey guys and girls, welcome back for episode 109 of Girls, created by Lena Dunham, aired on HBO between 2012 and 2017. This episode is titled Leave Me Alone, which kind of reflects the general sentiment that a lot of the girls are feeling right now. Let's see. Hannah and Marnie get into a little argument at the beginning of the episode just about Marnie's paying all of the rent right now and stuff like that, and things have just gotten a little testy. But the girls all go to the book release party of Jenny Slate, whose name is Taffy or something, which is fine. And she and Hannah really hate each other, and Hannah gets kind of jealous that Taffy has had all of this success, and she's, doesn't have a job and all that. But she runs into an old professor who she's, kind of got the hots for, and who might kind of have the hots for her. And he makes her go to a book reading thing to test out some of her material, but she gets nervous about what she wrote about because it doesn't feel true. She thinks it feels trite. That's what Ray at the coffee shop that she's maybe going to start working at said. So she kind of freaks out about it and writes something new on the subway on the way to the book reading, but she was just kind of copying Jenny Slate's thing, and so it didn't really come off as very true. And the professor tells her that, and that she probably should have just watched or read the original piece that she had prepared. Jessa gets a visit from Catherine Hahn, whose character's name is Catherine. I think that's probably another case of she was forgetting to talk when they said her character's name, so they just named her Catherine. Actors have a lot going on all the time, and so anything you can do to kind of make their job a little bit easier, it usually kind of ends up being better for everybody. So she gets visited by Catherine Hahn, who's the mom of the same kids that Jessa and the dad had this kind of little will they won't they thing. I forgot to mention in a previous episode that the dad is best friends with Horatio Sands. So that didn't age well. But she left the job, and but Catherine Hahn comes over to her apartment to try to get her to come back because she's working on forgiving Jessa for whatever she did, which is almost nothing. But Jessa doesn't want to, and they say a bunch of weird stuff to each other, and then it kind of ends with Catherine kind of giving her a real dressing down about Jessa's life and how she kind of gets into these situations to avoid kind of becoming her true actualized self. So that's probably something that she's going to be dealing with in the future. It'll be interesting to see whether she keeps getting into these sorts of situations. Hannah leaves the book reading pretty upset, tries to talk to Marnie about it. Marnie is doing chores and is, I think, starting some sort of new chapter, getting rid of clothes and things like that. Hannah tries to talk to her about what's been going on, and Marnie doesn't want to hear it because she's got her own stuff, and she feels that they're always talking about Hannah, and Hannah feels like they're always talking about Marnie, and so they start yelling at each other, and eventually they decide that they don't want to live together anymore. So I think we'll probably see what happens The next episode is the season finale, so stay tuned for that. And Shoshana created an internet dating profile.